Good morning, guys. It's View from the Pew. It is Thursday morning, April 29th, 2021. Sorry to be running a little bit late this morning, but a lot of things going on in our church facility these days. It's kind of exciting. So I wanted to share with you from Mark's Commands of Christ. We're still working through that. We will take a break here in about a week or two and focus on praying for national awakening and an event coming up in the next year in our county. But we're going to keep on with Mark's Commands of Christ for right now, and we're going to come to a command that is implied by the passage. We look at a lot of implied commands here. We're walking as if we're walking with the disciples. And I'm sure we've looked at it before. As a matter of fact, this is mentioned in Matthew 26:17 through 19, and it has to do with preparing for that Last Supper that Jesus has, the Lord's Supper. And here's how I phrase the command. Follow Jesus even when you don't know what he's up to. Follow Jesus even when you don't know what he's up to. Listen to what happens. Verse 12 of Mark 14. And I'll read through 16. Now on the first day of Unleavened Bread, when they killed the Passover lamb, his disciples said to him, "Where do you want us to go and prepare that you may eat the Passover?" And he sent out two of his disciples and said to them, "Go into the city, and a man will meet you carrying a pitcher of water. Follow him. Wherever he goes in, say to the master of the house, 'The teacher says, where is the guest room in which I may eat the Passover with my disciples?' Then he will show you a large upper room, furnished and prepared. There make ready for us." So his disciples went out and came into the city and found it just as he had said to them, and they prepared the Passover. A silent benefactor for Jesus, probably a silent follower for Jesus. So it could have even been somebody like a Nicodemus or a Joseph of Arimathea, or maybe somebody else. We don't know, but they had a nice place. He went to the upper room, and I want you to notice, they say, "Lord, how can we get things ready?" And Jesus says, "I want you to go to this city. I want you to talk to this man. I want you to tell him this." And they go, and they find it just like Jesus said it would be. And there's no question. As a matter of fact, it's as if the Lord had it all prepared ahead of time. And I do believe that's a very important principle in our Christian life, is that sometimes the Lord calls us to do things that we know are in line with his will, but we don't understand why he's doing it. He may call us to visit a person. He may call us to pray for a person. He may call us just to ask somebody how they're doing. He may ask us to go and do something that we don't fully understand what he's up to. And then we get to the other side and we see that he's prepared the way altogether. There sometimes are divine appointments that are that way. But in order to get to those places, you've got to be willing to say to the Lord, "Lord, just tell us what you want us to do. No questions asked, and we'll do it." And you obey him, trusting that he's been on the other end of it, preparing as well. We see that with Philip and the Ethiopian eunuch. And I think you see it at other times in Scripture as well, where God leads someone to do something and you don't see what God is doing until you get to the other side of obedience. And it is so important for us to get to the other side of obedience. Too often, we want from God for him to tell us what he's up to before we obey. And God says, that's not how trust works. Trust works like this. You obey me, and then you'll see what I'm up to. So be sensitive to that. Trust Jesus, even when you don't understand fully what he's up to, and know that he's prepared the way in advance. So I pray that you'll follow him today, you'll be faithful to him today, that you'll trust him today, that you'll listen, and you'll ask what those disciples did and say, "Lord, what can we do for you today?" And then once you ask, listen. And then when you hear, obey. So God bless you. I pray you have a great Thursday.